Hi there, hope you are feeling fantastic today. Welcome back to AutomationEdge tutorial. In earlier videos, you are introduced to AutomationEdge platform and its wonderful features and functionalities. If you have not watched it, then I would definitely recommend you to watch it. You are now aware that AutomationEdge has got three major components. AutomationEdge server. We can have on-prem and on-cloud instance of AutomationEdge server. AutomationEdge workflows are deployed on AutomationEdge server. Then AutomationEdge agent. It is digital worker which execute workflow. And next is Process Studio. Process Studio is Java-based tool which is used for designing and developing workflows and processes. In Process Studio, a workflow is created by orchestration of ready tasks. So if you want to do development in AutomationEdge, if you want to build your own bot, then you must have this tool with you. Are you excited to work with this tool? In this video, we will be learning the steps to register this tool, Process Studio. The agenda is to guide you through step-by-step registration process for Process Studio, including discussion of do's and don'ts, and finally we will cover the steps for deregistering Process Studio. So let's get started. First step to do registration is to check available Process Studio licenses. To do so, go to AutomationEdge Server UI, log in with valid credentials. On home page, you will be able to see number of Process Studio licenses consumed. Here you can see 1 by 2, which indicates I have consumed one license and one is yet to use. Next step is to assign license to specific user. To do so, we need to go to Process Studio menu. Here you will be able to see list of users. To assign license to specific user, click on Update. Check the checkbox next to user for which you want to assign license and click on Save button. The license will be assigned to user. We can also go to home page and check out. Now we are having 2 licenses consumed. Next step is to download Process Studio distribution file. So for that, log into AutomationEdge Server UI with the same user for which the Process Studio license is assigned. Go to Process Studio tab and click on download button. You can go for Windows, or if you are having Linux operating system, then go for Linux. So let's download the file. Process Studio distribution file is getting downloaded. So various files and folders would be extracted. Have a look at folder structure. There is a Process Studio folder and it includes various folders like bin, conf, lib, etc. Next step is to open Process Studio application. To do so, go to bin folder and open Process Studio application. Alternatively, you can also run this processstudio.bat file for Windows and processstudio.sh file for Linux. Upon reaching this step, AutomationEdge connection details pop-up would appear. Here you can see it contains AutomationEdge server URL. Enter username and password. If you want to save password for current session, then check this checkbox and click on connect. You can also sign it with SSO. Let's connect and it has open Workspace dialog box. Now one might wonder, what is this Workspace? Workspace is a directory which will contain all your projects and resources in cohesive manner. Here you can see default location for Workspace is prompted. Either you can go for this default Workspace or you can browse and select another folder which can act as Workspace. Click on launch. And yes, we can see Process Studio integrated development environment. When Process Studio is opened for the first time, it will download all the plugins which are available on AutomationEdge server. Here in this pane, go for Sync plugin tab. And in this pane, you will be able to see various plugins and current status of its downloading. This sync up of plugin will take few minutes, and once all the plugins are synced, we are ready to use this Process Studio instance. Let's go and check on AutomationEdge Server UI whether this registration is successfully completed or not. In Process Studio tab, go to registrations. So you can see here for this user Madhavi, new Process Studio instance is registered successfully. So here we go. We have successfully registered Process Studio instance and now we are ready to use it for building our bots. Let's take a quick recap of actions which we have performed during registration. We have checked available Process Studio licenses. Then we have assigned license to specific user. We downloaded Process Studio distribution file and we extracted all files and folders. In bin folder, there was Process Studio application, so we opened that application. We provided AutomationEdge server connection details. And finally, we selected Workspace and launched our Process Studio instance. I'm sure now you are very excited and you want to complete registration at your end. But before you do that, let's proceed further and discuss some do's and don'ts about registration. Take a note that folder path used for registering the PS should not contain any white spaces. See the figures. The path which is shown in this figure is correct. But the path which is shown in this figure is not correct because there is a space between AutomationEdge and software world. This is particularly required if you wish to do desktop automation. Now suppose one wants to move Process Studio to another location or shift Process Studio to another machine or just by mistake deleted Process Studio. Then he might think that shall I just cut this folder and paste it to new location or shall I just extract another copy of Process Studio and start working with this? Will it work? The answer is no. It will not work that way. If you do so, Process Studio will give an error saying that it is already registered. So what is the solution? The solution is to first deregister existing Process Studio instance and then register it again. So let's go ahead and see how we can deregister Process Studio. There are different ways of doing deregistration. So first way is while opening Process Studio, AutomationEdge connection detail dialog box comes up. On that dialog box, deregister Process Studio checkbox is available. Check this checkbox and click on connect. It will deregister current instance of Process Studio. Another way is to click on deregister icon available in Process Studio ID. Kindly have a look at this icon. This icon is present on top left corner of Process Studio. Click the icon to deregister the Process Studio. Once the Process Studio is deregistered, you can go ahead and register it at another location. Now suppose there is a scenario that existing Process Studio instance is not available or it is not getting open or it is by mistake deleted, then what we should do? So in such cases, we can do the deregistration from AutomationEdge Server UI. Log in to AutomationEdge Server UI with the same user credential for which you want to deregister Process Studio. Go to Process Studio tab. In registration tab, you will be able to see the registration entry. You can click on this action delete and the Process Studio registration will be deleted. If you deregister Process Studio from AutomationEdge Server UI, then next day you can extract new instance of Process Studio and register it again. I believe that now you are having clear understanding of process of registering and deregistering Process Studio. In case you require additional assistance, you can refer to our community for more information. That's all for this video. Keep watching and keep learning.